And welcome to the Plagiarism and Citing Workshop, focusing on MLA. So we're going to start by looking at some common forms of plagiarism, how to avoid accidental plagiarism, and then we'll finish with some resources. So to define plagiarism, it is using words or ideas of another person as if they were your own, and without giving proper credit to the sources you've used. And let's take a look at the biggest forms of plagiarism you want to avoid. The first one's cloning, and this is where you put your name on someone else's work and copy it into your own. The second is Control-C, where you copy text from someone else's work into your own without citing or quoting. The third is Find and Replace, where you copy someone else's text into your paper and then you use Find and Replace to switch some of the words. Still plagiarism. Remix is copying and pasting text from multiple sources without citing or quotes. And then finally there's Recycle. Recycle is when you take a paper that you wrote for one class and then you turn it in, or most of it, into a different class without the professor's permission. How to avoid accidental plagiarism. You do this through correct note-taking, correct citing, and then having a complete work cited. You want to complete your research before you start writing. So when quoting, you want to read the information, copy the quote you want, format the quote, and then cite the author, page, and paragraph. And remember, quotes should be under 15 to 20% in most papers, although each professor might have a different guideline. So if you're pulling information or quoting, don't pull more than 15 or 20% of what you'll be allowed to use. When paraphrasing, it's a different process. You want to read the information, then set it aside. Super important. Paraphrase or summarize in your own words, then check yourself. Make sure that you did not use more than 5 words from the original. Cite the author and page and paragraph, always, when you're paraphrasing. Another thing you can do is when you take notes, here's a model that you can use where you keep track of your reference, maybe note the subject, paraphrase or summarize, put your quotes in a different box, and then your comment in a different box. And then always keep track of your page, paragraph, or section number, depending on which form of information your article has. Correct citing. When you cite, or when to cite, it should be any time that you are giving credit to another person. So if you're quoting, summarizing, paraphrasing, if it's the other person's ideas, original words, or concepts, even if it's just one word, images, tables, charts, statistics, anytime you go to another source for information, you need to give credit and cite, even if it's in your own words. There are 2 ways that you can cite. If you use a signal phrase, it implies the author is the only one to make that point or find those results, and that's easier for summarizing. Or you can use an end quotation, an end citation. So let's take a look at it. With paraphrasing, a signal phrase and the numbers at the end bookend the idea. So you see here, Nieto notes that is my signal phrase, and then my page numbers at the end. And since they act as bookends, I can put as many sentences in between as I need to for MLA. If I'm using an end citation, it implies that others may also have similar points or findings, and it's easier when paraphrasing. I need to cite the author at the end of every sentence, even if it's the same citation. Since I only have one bookend, it's only going to hold up one sentence at a time. So you see here, at the end of my first sentence, I've cited Nieto, and at the end of my second sentence, again, I cited Nieto, even though it was the same citation. Quoting is using someone else's words, some of them. When to quote, you should only quote if the author's original words are so beautiful, so profound, so moving, horrifying, or shocking that you simply have to share the original. Don't quote just because you thought it would be easier. Using a signal phrase, you see here how I have Nieto notes that. Then I open the quote, complete the quote, close the quote, and then I have the page number at the end. You always need a page number right after a quote. You can tell that the rest of it is my analysis because there are no citations. When citing the author at the end of a sentence or quote, you see how I open the quote, close the quote, included my citation. MLA does not like commas, periods. It doesn't like commas or P's or PP's or PG's or any of those. I close my citation and then I complete my sentence or my punctuation after the quote and then move on. Paraphrasing and summarizing is using your own words to talk about someone else's ideas. If I want to use a signal phrase, like I mentioned earlier, it identifies the author and then I have the page numbers at the end. And remember, I can have as many sentences in between these two bookends as I need. If I'm citing after paraphrasing, notice how I finish my paraphrase, I cite with the author and the page numbers just like I would as if it were a quote, and then I punctuate after the citation. So let's give it a try. Let's see if my attempts of citing Nieto or paraphrasing Nieto are okay or not okay. Here you see I have the original quote, the green is her words, and the purple is mine. Okay or not okay? Not okay. I didn't give credit. I forgot the citation. How about this one? I changed some of the words. I remembered my citation. Okay or not okay? Not okay. I used a thesaurus. I changed some of the words, but most of the structure and most of the words belong to Nieto. Not okay. How about this one? I replaced more of the words. I remembered my citation. I even restructured the sentence. This one's better. I used a thesaurus. I kept a lot of her words, but I changed the sentence structure. This would be okay with some professors and not with others. How about this one? I changed most of the words. I remembered to cite at the end of every sentence. Good job. Now, it's not enough just to cite. You have to have a complete work cited at the end. So this offers a model of how I do a basic book reference. So I've included the author, the book title, the publisher information, and the year. If I was doing an academic journal reference, I would have the author, the title of the article, the name of the journal, the volume and issue number, and the page numbers. There's that PP. Here's where it shows up in MLA. The year, data. Had a DOI, I would add it at the end with a period. If I don't have a DOI, I would put a period after the database. And well, I do have a works cited for this presentation. Now to finish with some additional resources, this presentation offers resources on different MLA 8 and APA 7 templates that you can borrow and use, paper models, even Kahoots that you can practice. The library has writing and citing resources, like the basics of writing, citing sources, plagiarism, and RefWorks, which is a reference management system. They have their research help libguides. The Library Basics offers how to start your research, find books and articles, how to cite. And of course, we have our spring workshops, such as avoiding plagiarism, books and ebooks, and finding articles. Finally, there's information on how to reach the reference desk. Now, right now, normally their hours are Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Fridays, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. During the COVID-19 emergency, their hours are Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and on Fridays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And obviously, we're not visiting in person right now, but they are offering video chats. Thank you so much for attending this workshop. And I'll take you back to the first slide in case you want access to the PowerPoint. It's at tinyurl.com/p&c20/. Thank you.